everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to go ahead and get started with the webinar. We're really happy that you could join us for this. My name is Emily Lakemaker and I'm the Associate Director of Recruitment and Student Life here at the Rollins School of Public Health. And with me today is Megan Sullivan, and she is one of the academic advisors, or we call them ADAPs here. So just a few logistics up at the top. We're going to go through the PowerPoint presentation first, and then in the upper right hand corner you can see where my cursor is, and you should see an option there to put in questions. So feel free to put in your questions throughout the webinar, and after we get through the actual program itself, we'll go through and read those questions aloud, and then get through as many as we can in the hour that we have allotted and get those answered for you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Megan to get started. Oh, and real quick, we are recording this, and this will be posted to our YouTube channel sometime mid next week, and so if you want to go back and review this, you can do so then.
Great. Okay, so let's get started. So talk a little bit about behavioral sciences and health education. For short, at Rollins we call it BSHE. Our mission is to better the health of all people by advancing knowledge and training tomorrow's leaders in how to change behavior and the social conditions that influence health. And talking about our research a little bit, we focus on four main areas, and those would be behavioral risk factor trajectories, social determinants of health and health disparities, health education and behavioral interventions, and dissemination and implementation of effective interventions. And kind of breaking that down into more how we apply that to more subject-based research, they would fall under things like, sexually transmitted infections among high-risk populations in the U.S. and abroad, societal factors influencing early unplanned pregnancy, cancer prevention and control, mindfulness interventions, and of course we have the full list on our website if you kind of want to see all the different research projects going on in behavioral sciences and health education right now. So those are all opportunities for you to get involved in as a student. But you're not just limited to research projects within the department. We have students that work across several other departments in research, as well as Emory University as a whole. So Emory University has a medical school, a nursing school, so we have students involved in research, all over the university. And BSHE takes our part of our mission about training tomorrow's leaders very seriously. And we do have a very skills-based curriculum, and just kind of focusing on the skills that we do teach at BSHE. They would be the theories of behavioral and social influences on health, grant writing, community needs assessment, health education planning and implementation, program evaluation, survey design, and statistical methods. And we'll go through the curriculum kind of course by course in a little bit. We have 42 credit hours. The program is 2 years, fall and spring. So fall, spring, and along the summer, students will complete their practicum, but we do have students that work, all through their 2 years here. It's one of the benefits of going to school in Atlanta, the public health capital of the world. And we do have a practicum requirement, so 200 of your working hours do need to be documented for the practicum requirement, and a thesis or a capstone you must complete in order to graduate. So talking about our curriculum, this really outlines what our curriculum looks like for the next 4 semesters. So it's really outlined. So in your first semester, you'll take Biostats 500, theory-driven research and practice, research methods in health promotion, and applied history of public health. As a student in BSHE, you can either take the 4-credit epidemiology, which is the EPI that EPI students take in the fall. If you don't want to take that version of EPI, you can take the 2-credit EPI in the spring instead. So we'll provide some guidance over the summer as in terms of registration. You could, of course, go above and beyond these courses, but this is what you would have to take at a minimum in order to be on track. And then moving into the spring, we already talked about the choice with EPI. Then you would take community assessment, qualitative methods for research and evaluation, quantitative data analysis, and you would register for your practicum. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you are completing your practicum. We just ask that you register for it at that time, and you just have to complete it any time between your second semester and to graduation. And then you go away for the summer, and you come back and you'll take program planning and health promotion, social behavioral measurement, or qualitative data analysis. So qualitative data analysis would be the follow-up to qualitative methods. So if you felt that was more the direction you wanted to go, you would take qualitative data analysis. And then measurement is probably more on the quantitative side. If you are completing a thesis, you would start to work on that. So you would register for thesis mentorship. And then the following spring, in your very last semester, you would take program evaluation. If you were doing a thesis, you'd be finishing up your thesis, or if you were doing the capstone, you would be taking that in your final spring. Both thesis and capstone are 4 credits. They do have the same deliverable, which is a large paper and a presentation. They're a little bit different in that the capstone is more guided, whereas the thesis is more independent. It will provide lots of guidance on that once you are a student here about making that choice. And you'll also see here at the bottom EH, GH, and HPM. So all students take a core course in the other departments that we have here at Rollins. So while we definitely say when you need to take biostatistics and epidemiology, it's your choice when you want to take the 2-credit health policy and management, the 2-credit global health, and the 2-credit environmental health. You can take those at any semester, whatever makes sense for you and your schedule. And some things I do want to highlight about our courses is the strong community partnerships. So for example, when you take community assessment, you'll be doing community assessment for an organization in Atlanta that needs one. So a lot of times not only are our courses teaching you the skill, they're also a resume builder as well. And we really do have strong mentorship here. When you do become a student here in BSHE, you are getting a faculty mentor, and we try to pair you together based on your interests that you indicate in your application. As well as Zari and myself, or as Emily said, the ADAPs in the department, we're the academic advisors, so we're there for you, whatever you need. Even if we're not the right people, we can tell you where to go. And then we have really great access, as I mentioned before, being in Atlanta, really great access to public health organizations that you can gain experience at. Okay, to talk a little bit more about the practicum and the culminating experience. Like I said, our students work usually throughout their entire time at Rollins. But we do need 200 hours documented, and our students have worked at a wide array of organizations, both in the U.S. and abroad. For example, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Deloitte Consulting, the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, the World Health Organization, and Save the Children. So lots of different places that our students have worked. And then just some examples of thesis and capstone topics. You'll notice that we do offer the capstone in 2 different subject areas, health disparities or grant writing, but you really can take that wherever you want to and really do your own individual project as long as they fall under those 2 large umbrella topics. Another thing at Rollins that really helps us stand out is our certificate programs. So that's just a way to tailor your degree a little bit, or tailor your electives. 3 most popular ones for BSHE students would be the socio-contextual determinants of health, mental health, and maternal and child health. But we do also have students that complete certificates of injury and violence prevention, WASH, complex humanitarian emergencies, human rights, and religion and health. And we'll definitely have more info sessions at orientation to help you decide if that's something you want to pursue. But it does allow you to gain focused learning in an emerging area of public health importance. The admissions process. I know some of you have been through it. I know some of you are in the middle, and some of you are thinking about it. But the admissions process in BSHE is very holistic, meaning we take in the whole student into account. So we're looking at everything, the transcripts, the GRE scores, the letters of recommendation, your experiences, your personal statement. And as I'm sure you know, we're SOFIS application exclusive, and we are rolling admissions. So once your application is complete, we review it, and we'll get you a decision as soon as we can. If you want to look more into some funding opportunities we have at Rollins, I'd really encourage you to do so. Some of our more financial aid merit scholarships, there are links to that. One thing that really helps us stand out at Rollins is our Rollins Earn and Learn Award. So what that does is it subsidizes employment for our students in public health agencies. So many of our students do receive what we call, the real award. Then you also have the opportunity to apply for, if you're interested, the Global Field Experience Award or the Global Health Institute Award. So if you think you want to go do research, or you maybe want to complete your practicum, out of country, there's funding available for that to allow you to pursue that. We're going to move into the Q&A portion. One thing, if you have any questions, just go ahead and email bc@rollins@emory.edu if anything comes to you after this, or you're planning a visit and you would like to set something up, we'd be happy to do so.
All right, let's get the question box opened. So no questions yet, but you guys might be typing some in. In the meantime, I do want to take an opportunity to plug Visit Emory. So for those of you that are admitted students and have already received your admissions decision, you also, in addition, in your admissions decision email, there was an invitation to Visit Emory, which is our 2-day admitted student event, March 30th and 31st. And I really do want to do a big plug for that, as I think it's the best way to get an idea if Emory is the best fit for you. During the time that you're here, you would have the opportunity to sit in on classes, meet faculty, meet your department advisors, meet current students, attend panels like a Housing in Atlanta panel, like Life in Atlanta and how you find housing and navigating the city. We have a diversity student panel with a few of our student identity groups that host that. We've got a research and opportunities fair where our faculty that have research projects ongoing and possible graduate assistantships and all those opportunities, they will be exhibiting. We have a student org fair where you get to hear about all the different organizations on campus, and some social events hosted by student clubs. So I'd really recommend attending that. We do offer travel grants for that. You can email me directly. That's emily.lakemaker, emily.lakemaker @emory.edu, or you can even email the account that you see here, the bc@rollins, and they can connect you with me to get your travel grant information. So really think about trying to come to that, and because I think it would be the best way to figure out if this is the best place for you. Zari, who is one of the other advisors here in the BC department, she describes Visit Emory as students leave it either thinking this is exactly where I need to be, or these people are crazy. So it's one or the two. So hopefully you guys can make it to that, and we'd love to see you. So the question that we have up right now is from Jacqueline, and she says, I heard that the behavioral science and health education tracks were being eliminated. Is that correct?
Hi, Jacqueline. Yeah, that's correct. I know there was probably a slide in there that alluded to having tracks, and I apologize for that. There is no, moving forward, we won't have the different tracks, but the curriculum that we went over is the exact curriculum that you would take. So everything, the way we outlined it, is 42 credits. Anything you want to take above and beyond that, you certainly can take with electives. As I mentioned earlier, our curriculum is really skills-based, but with our students graduate with around 50 credits given flat rate tuition. Students typically take about 14 to 15 credits a semester. It gets lighter maybe their last semester, because they're looking for a job, as well as completing a thesis or a capstone. But yes, there will be no tracks moving forward.
And I did see that one of the students on the webinar right now, Gabby, I know you and I were emailing yesterday about MCAT scores. So VSHE does accept the MCAT. However, we have so few students that utilize it. We don't really have like a average of admitted students for that score.
Right, and as with anything, our department is so holistic in our admissions review that we'll just, like taking the GRE, we would just use it in conjunction with everything else.
Yeah. So that gets real specific. Sorry for everyone else on there. I saw Gabby on, was like, oh, I'll throw this in. Well, it looks like that appears to be it. There doesn't seem to be any other questions coming up. I'll take that as a sign that Megan covered everything so thoroughly that you guys just have all the information that you need. So with that, I think we will go ahead and wrap up the webinar. But for, like we mentioned, and for those of you that may have future questions or think about something later on that we didn't cover today, you can always email at the one that is provided here, the bc@rollins account, and we'll be sure to get you connected with the right resources to help answer your questions. So with that, I think we'll sign off, and we appreciate you guys joining us today. Thanks.